Hello, everyone. Hi, loves. Welcome to CEO Sister Talk Live, our very first live for our new CEO Sister Society that Clarissa and I are launching together. Hello, everyone, as you're coming on. Meg, Callie Dreamin', Bliss, I see you, babe. I am Amika the First. Hey, love. Tiffany, Lenise. Hello, everyone. Clarissa is going to be coming on in just a moment. Hi, Lil John Roberts. Hello. Hi. Clarissa's on. Yay. Hello. All right. We just announced our CEO Sister Society launch today. Clarissa!
Hi. Hello.
How are
I'm
you?
wonderful. How is everybody? Happy
Honey,
Tuesday.
listen, this is the day. We're launching today. This is our brand new thing, y'all.
Yes.
So we're so excited, so excited. Okay, give just a few minutes because I know we're like right at 7:01, guys. Hey, Mr. Pope. Look, Mr. Pope's on here supporting us.
Hi, Carrie.
Hey, sweetheart.
Oops.
Give just a couple minutes, Clarissa, for everybody to hop on because we sent out an email blast and everything. Carrie says, congratulations. Hey,
Thank
Rin.
you.
Hey, everybody, as you're coming on. So just really quickly, before we jump into what this is tonight, just to kind of give you guys some, Clarissa, did you go away? Oh, we lost Clarissa. Hold on, guys. We got to bring her back in. Hello. And congratulations. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. I'm Amika the First. Exciting. So ready to know more. I know, guys. We're so excited. Align with Allison. Hi, sweetheart. Okay, here's Clarissa. She's coming back in. She should be coming up. Clarissa, you there? There we go.
I'm here. Okay, we are back.
Okay, all right. So we're good? All right.
Yeah.
So just to kind of give you guys a little background. So this is my girl, Clarissa. For those of you who don't know, Clarissa Wright Thomas, our relationship started out professionally. I hired her mega PR firm and company out of Atlanta, Georgia to run all my public relations for my TV show, everything I do, my brand, Abundant Life Path, everything. And so that's how Clarissa and I met initially, guys. And from that, a relationship, a friendship, sisterhood, business besties relationship began to develop. And it literally just one thing led to the next. It was like, we should do a collab. We should work together.
That's right.
And CEO Sister Society is what we actually have come up with for how we can collab and give back in order to help women CEOs. Clarissa, you go ahead, your input on us and what we're doing.
Yes, well, hello, welcome all you beautiful people. Thank you for the support. It is amazing. Like Rebecca said, we have been acquainted for some time. It started off business, and then it kind of transitioned, and here we are. We have decided that it's time to share this sisterhood feel that we have amongst ourselves and the people that are in our circle. It's like, okay, everybody could use something like this. Our Sisterhood CEO Network is like, it's a sisterhood. It's a bunch of us high-functioning women who are sharing best practices, talking every day like, what did you do to overcome this obstacle? Or how can I do this and that? And we realize that our friend group may be unique, and there may be some space in the world for us to share with other like-minded women. So we are here. I'm so happy to join Rebecca in this venture. You all know she's amazing. I've worked with her behind the scenes, and I'm used to being behind the scenes, but I'm ready to come out and share all this goodness with everybody.
It's time for you to step into the spotlight. Guys, Clarissa is like the most humble, kick-ass superstar that I know. She's like just so down to earth. She has worked with, I mean, her clientele list, guys, is like a who's who in the entertainment industry, authors, I mean, entrepreneurs, you name it. She's absolutely amazing. And she's just so down to earth. And that's part of like how we clicked, because we're both
Yeah.
just, you know, down to earth people. And we love good people.
Yeah.
And I think that nowadays it's sometimes in this social media age that we live in, it's easy for everything to
Yeah.
become so superficial. And the conversations that Clarissa and I have and that we have with our other CEO friends, you know, these are different types of conversations. You know,
They
the
are.
struggles and the challenges we face as women CEOs and
Mm-hmm.
women in business is very unique. And so you don't really get it unless you're in it, unless you're doing it, or unless you're trying to do it. It doesn't really click.
Exactly. And then I want to just jump in just to say, everybody, when they're starting their business, you go through this phase of you being the only person, there is nobody to turn to lean on for information. You know, if you're the first entrepreneur in your family, or you are stepping outside the box from what's normal from your friend group, you may feel alien. It's like, oh, how do I, I don't know how to do this or that. So you feel like you're alone until you start meeting other entrepreneurs, and then you're like, okay, here's my tribe. I started this business. I was by myself, but somebody understands this woe that I'm experiencing, and guess what? They helped me, and I figured it out. And I don't want to shut my business down and run and hide anymore. Okay, there was a resource. So I just wanted to say that is the number one reason that sisterhood in business, and ultimately it's all personal lives too. Just it's so helpful, because there are lots of times where you may become discouraged, or you just haven't encountered or navigated through a certain situation, and you're like, okay, well, maybe I'm not qualified. I don't know how to move past this. And then somebody can jump in and say, honey, that was me 3 years ago. Here's the game on that. 5 years ago, I was about to do the same thing. Here's how you overcome that. So this is going to be
Yes.
electric. I'm so happy for us to be starting this off in the new year, because new year, new everybody, and let's
Right. And
do
I
this
think
thing.
that one of the things I've navigated, I'll be really honest, in my journey, guys, there there's only been a handful of women. I'm not a huge networker by nature. I tend to be a
Yeah.
little bit more isolated. I'm spiritual. I'm in my own zone. I'm in my house. I'm working
Mm-hmm.
virtually. I've been working virtually and working from home for decades now. And, you know, I think that I had a certain amount of isolation, guys, like, you know, to where I didn't
Yeah.
always have people to bounce things off of. I didn't always have, you know, support. And although I came from a family that definitely had strong entrepreneurship on my mother's side of the family, my uncles were all in construction. My first
Yeah.
business that I started was a construction company. But then as I began to evolve into coaching and writing books and speaking, you know, there was no blueprint. There was no advice. You know, starting my construction company, I have all the years of experience in my corporate job, working in the construction industry, all of that backing me up. But as soon as you go to do something, guys, that you've never done before, and if you don't know anybody personally who's done that, and even if you do, our journeys as entrepreneurs is so unique. It What you may experience, or the variables that come into play when it comes to you, your mindset, your doubts, your fears, your upbringing, your money mindset, your, you know, insecurities, your relationships, your support system or lack thereof, kids or no kids. I mean, there's always so many variables that I think you can also kind of find yourself comparing yourself to people, but you don't know
Mm-hmm.
what their personal situation or circumstances are.
Yeah. I'll jump in and just kind of give a little insight. When I started my PR firm, I didn't go to college for public relations at all. I fell into this industry, and I loved it enough doing it kind of as a hobby in the beginning. I loved it enough to turn it into a full-fledged business. But with doing that, I didn't have the foundation that I needed to, everybody thinks, oh, okay, I'm good at this, let me start a business. You may be gifted and talented in an area, but there are so many things that can be pitfalls in the very beginning. Like for myself, I've been in business for 16 years, but being very honest, I wouldn't say that I knew really what I was doing until the second or third year. Not for lack of effort, not for any other reason other than just I didn't have the network to say, oh, this is how you do this or that. I did embark on an internship in my late 20s just to kind of give myself a little bit more footing, but it wasn't until I got into the industry and started to make my own lane that other people started to pour into me. And I'm like, where were you 5 years ago? And they're like, you should have opened your mouth and asked. And I'm like, oh, I was afraid. So there are sometimes people waiting to help you, people waiting to give you advice, resources. Even they will literally directly hand you a book of how-to, and you just have been afraid to ask. So this conversation is more than just the large picture. We're going to get micro with this stuff too. We're going to talk about the small details, the things that can save you 2 years. There are things that I learned in year 3 that had I done a little bit of research in year 1, it would have saved me 2 years and money. So I hope you all chime in with questions so we can start to get some preliminary conversation going about the
so
stuff.
CEO Sister Society, guys, is all about us building education, empowerment, sisterhood network, and support for each other. And also lifestyle, right? It's still going to be also some fun and fashion and tips as well, but really heavy on the business education side of things and on the empowerment, right? In order to, you have to be able to believe in yourself. One of the things that, yes, Sakara says this live will be saved. It will. One of the things that I know for sure is that to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to step out on faith in certain spaces, certain stages of your business. You will be alone. You're going to be walking on water. You're going to have to overcome fears, doubts, self-sabotaging. And then also in your journey, I think that you also have to make room for evolution. Where you start is not always where you finish, guys. And your business journey, your entrepreneurial journey is always expanding. It's always unfolding to where you could say, oh, I'm going to start, my business over here. I'm going to open a restaurant. And opening the restaurant leads you to realize you really don't like that. And now you go and you open a food truck because you didn't want to be in a brick and mortar building. And now food trucks, and then you end up having 7 food trucks, right? It's like one thing leads to the next, to the next.
That's right. And just jumping back in on something you mentioned about faith and not having, overcoming self-doubt. Imposter syndrome is so big when it comes to stepping into the next part of your journey. When you start to elevate, imposter syndrome is something that will try to get you down too. And that's the value in having people around you that can force you past those self-doubt days or those days where you have kind of forgotten who you are. Sometimes you have to slide your credentials across your own desk to remind yourself that you are qualified. You do deserve to be here. So the resources over time, after 15, 20 years, okay, you get it. But it would have been nice to have that level of comfort at year 2, 3, 4 in business. I'm just elated. I wish something like this was around when I started.
I say a lot, and you guys who've followed me for years, I'll say it all the time. It's like you have to become your own number one fan. There's not always, people joining a network like ours. Obviously, you're going to be connected into a network of other business women that you'll be able to rub elbows with, and they will understand you and you'll understand them. But you can't expect your average person who is not an entrepreneur to understand your experiences, your mindset, your journey. They won't understand at all. I mean, it is like apples and oranges. And so even expecting your friends, your family, unless they themselves are entrepreneurs, a lot of them are not going to get it.
Right. That's right. I see posts frequently on my timeline where people are saying, oh, it's the people that don't know me that support me the most. And there's a struggle in that too, you know, with getting off the ground with anything that you're doing, because it's like you look left and you look right and you're like, okay, family, I did the thing. Friends, I did the thing. And you're a year later feeling like you haven't made any progress. And then you meet somebody, they buy your stuff, and now you're upset. So it's like there are so many things that you encounter along the way, and not giving up is literally the juice. Like, just don't give up. But there are lots of ways to help navigate that. Don't give up. It's easier said than done. But yeah, the resources and the tools are just
like Clarissa
incredible.
just said, your clients, your customers, your biggest supporters
Right.
are strangers right now. You don't know them.
Yeah.
They the people who are going to respect what you do and support you and believe in you and absolutely love your product or service
Right.
are absolute strangers right now that you don't know. And you can literally meet someone tomorrow who is absolutely nuts about your business and what you're offering, and they will support you for literally the next 10 years, buying so loyal, so consistent, and you can't get your friends or family to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a young lady, Belle, BRKS, that says she struggles with the giving up part. Everyone in entrepreneurship does. You are not alone. Everybody comes across that day, that week, that month, or sometimes an entire year where you feel like maybe this isn't the thing. So you're not alone.
Yeah, definitely. I think that one of one of the biggest things that I see, Clarissa, that I've observed, even among my entrepreneurial friends who are wanting to venture out into doing other things, new
Mm-hmm.
streams, create more streams of income. One of the things that's really hard, guys, is that their action is what gets things done. Action. Faith is a verb,
Yeah.
right? You've got to take action. And what happens a lot of the time is that most people, a lot of you are supposed to be doing your own businesses right now. A lot of you, are aspiring CEOs, but you won't step out to take those initial steps to get started because you will literally talk yourself out of it before you've even gotten
Mm-hmm.
started. So one of the things I'll say this is that you can't hold yourself back from taking the leap and going into business just because you say, oh, but there's so many coaches. Oh, there's so many authors. Oh, there's so many PR agents, or there's so many, whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
that you want to do. There's always going to be people doing it, but you are unique. You are you. There's tons of doctors, but people are still going to medical school. There's a
Every
million and
day.
one lawyers, but people are still going to law school, right? So just because you look and you see like, oh, there's a lot of this on the market. First of all, especially the way algorithms work on social media, they know you're interested in that. So you're seeing a lot of it because the algorithms are feeding you what they know you're interested in. So
That's
it
right.
feels as if, oh, everybody is a speaker now. Everybody is got a restaurant, everybody and their mamas, but that's not true. At the end of the day, your products and services are needed in the marketplace.
That's right. Amika, there's a young lady, I am Amika the first. She just commented again that she's afraid to take the full launch to becoming a CEO. Again, you're not alone. Everybody experiences that, especially when you are entrepreneur and an employee simultaneously. It took me 6 years. I've been in business for myself for 16 years, but the first 6 years I held on to my corporate job like chokeholds because I was like, I was so comfortable. You become comfortable, and comfort it can be a very bad thing if you get comfortable and stay there too long. So taking leaps, you do have to have some calculation to it, but don't roll the dice on yourself. Bet on yourself with some calculation.
Somebody says, what about for the pre-established CEO and entrepreneurs who want to excel further? Is CEO sisterhood for us too? Yes, it's definitely for you too. Clarissa and I, between the two of us, have 40 years of entrepreneurship experience and CEO journey experience between the two of us. So yes, we are seasoned CEOs and run highly successful businesses that we didn't get to overnight, right? Nothing happens overnight, but yes, CEO Sister Society is for you if you are just starting out as a CEO, but it's also for the very established CEOs as well, who are looking for more education on how to scale your business and build your empire, how to take it to the next level, how to add another zero onto that profit income sheet. We'll definitely be addressing from the beginner all the way through to the advanced. So yes, it's for you as well.
Yes, we are here with we work across the spectrum in multiple industries. You know, we're also people who have multiple businesses in different, areas of expertise in those different industries too. So yes, it is for aspiring up to executive veterans too. We did have a question that piqued my interest from Mimi. She asked, what advice do you offer entrepreneurs who need financial backing to start the business, especially being Black-owned businesses? There's a ton of advice and a ton of resources, but lots of times new entrepreneurs have to fund their own businesses in the very beginning. Who else is going to invest in you? If you know you want to start a business tomorrow, then you have to start saving from your 9 to 5. That's not, everybody doesn't like to bootstrap that way, but that's the way lots of us got started. You had to print your own business card. People don't start getting funding until they are actually executing, which is one of the things Rebecca talked about. Jumping, taking action. Execution is the thing that gets you seen. Execution gets you ready for things. So we can delve more into those types of things, later on as we keep this group going. But there are resources.
There's a lot of resources, but they want to also see a track record, guys. Investors, yes. Grants. You're going to have to be able to show something. I had 0 investors, no angel investors, no business loans. And that is your typical entrepreneur is starting out from scratch, guys. Starting just on the side of working your 9 to 5 job, using that income to invest and get your business off the ground. Gina says, what is the membership going to include? All the details in the membership program are coming and will be released. So when you get on our list, we do have a link in the bio where you can get on our mailing list, and we're starting a wait list for the membership. You'll be able to be the first to get first dibs on our membership when we launch it. So we'll be announcing when the program will be opening up, what it will include. All of that is coming. So we've done our soft launch here, just like the second week of 2023, getting everything going, guys, but we're preparing for our hard launch. Our official launch.
Yes. That's right.
Sakara says, will this
Rebecca.
be a paid membership group? Forgive me if I missed it. Yes, it's going to be a paid membership, Sakara, a monthly membership. Yes, and we will open membership and then we will close membership. We'll open it up to take members and then it will be closing. So you'll have a period of time with open membership where you're able to join and lock in, and then it will close and we'll get going with our classes and courses and experts and everything else that we have coming your way.
That's right. I'm seeing some familiar faces in the comments. Dr. Terica Pearson is here. She is a longtime friend. She's
Oh,
she's a friend. But again,
she's my
another relationship.
insurance
This is a
agent.
really prime example.
Dr. Terica
Yep,
Pearson
she's
is
both of our
all
insurance.
of Carrie and I's life insurance, guys. Hey, Terica.
Yep, same here. Same here. Terica and I have known each other for years and years, and she's an example. She's on this live. She's an example of how your Sister CEO network grows. You know, as you meet new people and people introduce you. Introductions are
Yes.
invaluable. We'll talk about that too at some point. But Dr. Pearson, I've known her in many lives, from her education background to her insurance background to her finance background. She is lit. And guess what? She's a Sister CEO too. So
Network.
network.
And one of the things, remember how I said earlier, guys, I haven't really ever been a real big networker. So for me, starting CEO Sister Society with Clarissa is really exciting, because I can tend to kind of be in my own bubble. And but one of the things I've always valued is that I may not be someone that is a huge networker, but my friends are. So I have friends, I have sister CEO friends who know everybody. So literally within like one phone call, I'm like, hey, I need this, or hey, you have someone for that. And I'm one phone call away from an amazing referral that I end up doing business with someone or getting of a service or product that I need. And I can trust it because it's coming from, my circle of sister CEOs. And so that's what we're looking, and that what we're going to be building with the CEO Sister Society.
And when you all join the mailing list, we definitely welcome, the things that, what do you look for in this type of organization? We know what we know what we needed. We know what we plan to offer, but we would love to hear your voices. We'd love to hear the things specific and unique to you in your situation too. Lots of times you have to break away from the unnecessary noise in your life and kind of go to where the people are that understand you. Go to where the people are that can help you push forward or, bypass a plateau. So I'm really excited. I see the people in the comments saying they can't wait. Neither can we.
Yeah, we're so
excited.
You can email us at hello@ceosistersociety.com. Our email's hello@ceosistersociety.com to give us feedback, if you want us to add you into the mailing list, but just please click the link to join the mailing list. But you can email us your feedback. What is it you're looking for? What's missing, right? I know that a lot of the time, guys, what honestly is missing for so many entrepreneurs, and I'm talking about on every level. I just had a strategy session with one of my millionaire coach clients today, and she's already a very highly successful woman who's building out, her six-figure coaching business. And I'm her consultant. I'm her business consultant. And in the conversation, Clarissa, it was like, she's got a prospect and she's about to quote her new high ticket coaching program for a 16-week program. And she said, is it normal to be this nervous? Is it normal that I am sitting here shaking in my boots, right? Like that. And guys, yes, every step of your business that is opening up new streams, new opportunities, you're going to be nervous. The first time I started quoting clients, some of my high ticket coaching programs years ago, I remember my stomach being in knots. I felt like I was going to throw up, right? We're stepping out of our comfort zone, right? And when you get that feeling, when you're first encountering that feeling, it's overwhelming. You feel like, oh my God, am I even supposed to be doing this? I'm a nervous wreck. But over the course of my journey as an entrepreneur, when I have that feeling, I know that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, because I now recognize that feeling. I recognize I'm nervous. Oh my God, like I'm so, I have anxiety right now, stepping outside of my norm, right? And that happens for all of us on every level, guys, for all of us. You're not alone in that. You may be making $50,000 a year right now, but the person making $5 million a year, every time they go to do something new, they feel nervous too. They feel anxious. It can be, you're excited, but you're also scared. And the difference is that we do it scared. You keep moving forward and do it anyway. Exactly.
Yes. That I cannot tell you how that one thing has plagued and continues to. It's not even a plague. It's a real thing. As seasoned as we are, I still get nervous, and I've been doing this for a very long time. And it's funny because you would think that nervousness means turn and run, but like Rebecca said, no, it means push forward. It continue. You're in the right space. You're in the right place. And our firm has been here for a very long time, but every time we get a really large contract, like we know that we're good at what we do. We're not even questioning that. But when we get a call from somebody 5 times high up office, we're all like, oh, okay, we're going to have a meeting after this meeting because it's so amazing. Butterflies are natural and normal. When you're stepping further into your journey, you're going into deeper waters, those nerves are an indication. Your spidey senses are tingling to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
and
right.
One of the things I also say to my clients is that, you know, if you're not pushing out of that comfort zone, right, you're not really getting all of the results that you're really entitled to. The success that you're truly entitled to is outside of your comfort zone, right? And those ideas that come, that creativity, guys, that comes in your business as you're, you know, dreaming bigger and stretching yourself, go for it. Go for it. I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I've tried lots of different things over the years. Some of them have worked and I've knocked the ball out of the park. Other things not so great and it falls flat. And it's like, okay, well, I got to tweak this. This didn't land. This didn't convert. This didn't land, you know, connect. But guess what? You tried and you get up and you keep going and you find your lane. You find what works for you. You find what connects with people. One of the things I know that we'll be focusing on quite a bit is branding and marketing, guys. When it comes to your business, guys, branding and marketing and sales are at the backbone of any successful business. And if you're ignoring one of those major elements in your business, your success is going to be very limited.
Yeah. Have you all, I know you have, Rebecca, and we can open the dialogue. Have you ever seen someone that you felt was less talented or had less information than you, but they're going farther than you? And you're like, what's the difference? They're out there more. They're putting themselves out. Or they're saying things. They're putting themselves out, and that's the difference between somebody who's at home in their personal lab cooking up all this amazingness and somebody who's like, you know what, I'm almost there, but I'm getting out here, I'm putting myself out here. Exposure is everything. Exposure is the make or break between, like she said, the $50 million, $5 million person and the $50 million person. The drastic differences are in that back end effort. The products and services are on one side, but there's a whole different machine that pushes the back of the house forward. So, yeah, great.
Because at the end of the day, I say this to the coaches I've trained and certified. I say all the time, you can be the most amazing coach in the world. I mean, the most powerful, gifted, insightful, knowledgeable. You can be absolutely freaking amazing. But if nobody knows about you, you can't make any money. It doesn't matter how awesome you are or how talented you are. Do you know how many like talented, gifted people there are right now who are sitting on their gifts? Nobody knows about them. That might be you right now watching this live. Like you see people executing across social media. And I say this all of the time. From my experience of coaching and mentoring entrepreneurs, I will say this. The people I've trained are so absolutely freaking amazing, and they'll be holding themselves back, doubting themselves, putting themselves down, feeling like imposter syndrome. What makes me qualified to do this? And somebody with a tenth of their skill, a tenth of their heart,
Yep.
a tenth of their intelligence, a tenth of literally a fraction. They're over here executing the hell out of it and selling stuff
Right.
gangbusters simply because they have the confidence and the wherewithal to
Mm-hmm.
push through and to put themselves out there. So,
That's right. There's a big difference between, I mean, the people that are out there putting themselves out that may not have as much talent as you, they will still go further just because they are getting in front of more people. They are, and even as you put yourself out there as an entrepreneur, even if it's not right, people help to correct you along the way. You know, you bake cookies, for example, and you say, "Oh, please just taste these. These are free." When they give you the feedback that, you know what, a little less salt or a little more this or that, you tweak as you go along. So a lot of people hide until they feel like everything is
perfectionism.
perfect with their company. That never works. Yep, and that never works. You're always trying to perfect it while somebody else is out there moving forward. And the next thing you know, you look up and somebody is doing the thing that you've been trying to do, and they're doing it. Now it's like back to the drawing board for you because the idea is out there already.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
don't hide, and don't
I
shy
say
away
all the
from it.
time, progress over perfection. Progress
Yeah.
over perfection. I mean, you've got to move forward. Baby steps are better than no steps. Gina
That's right.
Momina says, if you're not confident, what's one way you can get better at taking the first step? Clarissa, you have a tip for that?
Yeah, you know what? I can attest to that from a firsthand perspective. While I'm in public relations, I used to be just painfully shy, which is such an oxymoron for my industry. The biggest thing that I started to do was to force myself out of my comfort zone by going places and literally I go up and shake people's hands. Literally just go up and shake someone's hand and say, "Hi, I'm Clarissa." And in my mind, I'm melting down. And they're like, "Oh, great, nice to meet you. Where's your business card?" And you're like, "Oh, okay, I made a connect. Okay, great." So taking the first step at moving yourself into the light a little bit more is talking to people. Sometimes you do it like you're doing here. You're emerging, you're putting yourself out here. This is a group. You go to networking events, you ask questions. So confidence building does take some time, but it starts with your self affirmations and just knowing that you know what you know, you're good at what you do, and if you know that what you're offering or your skills are in line, then you just have to keep moving forward with your eyes open and doing it scared anyway.
And the other thing also is that I'll add, Clarissa, to that point is, guys, there's so many different ways to do business. There's, there's a book
Yeah.
called Guerrilla Marketing, right? Amazing marketing book,
Mm-hmm.
because literally with social media, it's easy to get into this mindset that the only way to sell anything is on social media. Well, if you're someone who's shy or you're someone who does better in person or one-on-one, guess what? Back to all of the guerrilla marketing tactics before social media ever existed. People are out
Yes.
here in the
Yep.
real world, out here living life, not online. And guess what? You can be about that. You can literally create a whole market strategy that incorporates some very traditional marketing tactics and strategies into your business plan to where it's not all online. It's up to you to exercise and try these different things to see what is a fit for you. It's not a cookie cutter
Mm-hmm.
answer for everything.
Yeah, that's right. Belle, BRKS, Belle Burke, she said that information helped me so much. I'm holding myself back because I thought that I had to have it all together. Thank you. No, ma'am. No, you have some things in place, but if you, yeah,
I mean,
don't hide. Just keep going. You're
Clarissa
right.
and I are a perfect example right now. We've launched CEO Sister Society today. We're doing our live tonight. We haven't launched the membership program. That site's not ready yet, right? What do you
Mm-hmm.
see from us? We have an
Right.
email, we have a landing page, we have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, right? The basics of getting a business off the ground. We've implemented that and we're moving
Right.
forward. There's no reason that we have to wait till February to have, everything perfect before we even mention CEO Sister Society publicly. then,
Right.
so then we're 30 more days down the road and we're not even building up momentum or buzz. It's like, why we're going to start talking now, launch now, and the site's going to roll out. We did a photo shoot last month for the pictures that you saw
That's
from us
right.
today. We've been planning and prepping, but guys, all along the way, there's these steps you can be taking to get out there. It's not about we don't have funnels built. We don't have ads and marketing funnels
Right.
built right now, sales funnels. We don't have all of this stuff. We're literally launching from where we're at. And because we know what we're bringing to
Mm-hmm.
the market is valuable and it's needed and it's a brand new year, it's the perfect time for this. And we believe in women in business. We want to help you pursue your dreams, your CEO dreams, whether you're already in business or just getting started, and scale up to have your own
Yes.
CEO lifestyle and financial freedom. That's the goal.
Yes. Yes. And I'll say this, with us not having it all prepared, there's some science behind why we started this group in addition to what we mentioned earlier. There are so many people that ask, oh, can I pick your brain? Can I pick your brain? These are the things, I mean, we get requests all the time. People are always asking, and we welcome it. I welcome it. I'm always on the phone with somebody sharing information, but it's like, you know what? Again, what about a collective of people where we can just share all of this information at once? So you don't have to have it already, but we know the need is there because our inbox stays full with questions, our phones stay ringing with questions, and these are from our colleagues, people aspiring to get to where they see us, now. So yeah, the science behind moving forward doesn't have to be completely finished. You can have, we have the foundation together, and you're going to see
Yeah.
us grow as we go along. I want to address a question Sakara had really quickly. She asked, in this day and age, what's better, business cards, QR codes, or getting their email addresses? It depends on the person. Myself personally, I do like to collect everybody's email address. A business card can fall out of your purse. A QR code could go wrong. You could scratch the QR code and it won't address, just because I like email addresses because I have it. Once I've emailed you one time, I'll send you a test email right on the spot. If we meet in person and it's like, hey, what's your email? I'll send you a test right there so I can refer back to it. So if you had a choice between the three,
Yeah.
I'd go with email.
And just remember, guys, we're all on these billion-dollar social media sites that these billionaires let us be on for free and market
That's
our
right.
businesses for free on these multi-billion-dollar sites, right? But if
That's right.
it were to blow up tomorrow and
Mm-hmm.
Instagram was gone or YouTube was gone or Facebook was
Yes.
gone, how are you going to reach your clients? How are you going to still sell your products and services? We can't afford to ignore tried and true email marketing. My email, the
That's right.
majority of my sales for my books, my courses, still comes from my email marketing. Though that's my tried and
Right.
true clients and loyal followers, the email list. I can have
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of
Mm-hmm.
thousands of followers on
Mm-hmm.
social media, but it's that list that when it comes down to it, they're the ones clicking the buttons to buy.
That's right. I can't say how many times I've had somebody grab my email address and then 3 years later email me and I have to refresh myself on where we met. Oh, well, I'm interested in PR services. I met you 3 years ago at
Wow.
Essence Festival. And it's like, oh, okay. Email address. Could you imagine my business card lasting for 3 years and falling under their
Right.
feet in their car 10
Right.
times, all that? Email is
Yeah.
king. So yeah, definitely email,
Basics are
Sakara.
still king. Exactly, Sakara. For sure.
That's right. Basics are king. Yep, sure are. Yep. Yeah, these questions are good. I think we've answered all of the questions that have come through. This is an example of the type
Yeah.
of things that we'll be discussing regularly. Of course, they'll be packaged and fully developed, but these questions are amazing. These
Yeah,
are the questions
somebody
that led us
said,
here. These
um,
are the questions that led us
Anthony
here.
said, I'm on here because I clicked a link that was sent to my email. Exactly. Right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
Because people, especially the way the algorithms work on social media, guys, it's only a small percentage of your followers who are even seeing what you post. consistently.
That's right.
So, you've got to
That's
work around the
right.
algorithms, but at the end of the day, there's nothing that beats you being able to send an email or a text to your followers directly communicating, your sell, your live, your product, your service, your launch,
Right.
whatever it is. You need to be able to communicate with them directly, not the off chance that the 2% of
Yes.
your followers that are going to see a post on Instagram. So, really, really crucial.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. Everything that Rebecca's saying, I'm smiling because we've had these conversations and I've had them multiple times. So I'm smiling because we're about to get into some real work these days, ladies. Let me see. Meg said it's so hard to even know where to get started
Yeah.
sometimes.
We're
Absolutely.
And
And
we're
there's never a perfect
lining
time.
up experts, guys, that will be coming in as our guest experts to
Mm-hmm.
teach on different levels of business. You're right, Meg. Make Cali dreaming. It is hard
Mm-hmm.
to get started. And there's some things you can do that can help you
Mm-hmm.
initially about just to get the ball rolling, to get going, to make it real
Right.
for yourself. And we'll talk a lot more about that as we move forward. We're putting together programs and, like I said, speakers and experts that are coming to teach on the different levels of entrepreneurship. I've actually got my accountant. I've been with her for years. She is my business accountant. She's absolutely amazing, guys. She's got clients from millionaires to billionaires who she knows what to
Yeah.
do to help you set up your business to be successful. Lots of tips along the way about taxes. Guys, I'll
Yes.
say this here right from the beginning, our very first live. I believe that every single person should have an extra stream of income. Even if you have a corporate job right now or you've got a great career, you could be laid off tomorrow. When you work for someone else, that job is not guaranteed. And in the current economy and everything that's going on in the world, I believe that every single person should have at least two streams of income. If that's your corporate job or your regular 9 to 5, and then a second business that you start, I believe every single person should have at least two streams of income. That if anything were to happen to that job
Yes.
next week, you can pivot and put more energy and time into this business that you've already been investing in and building over time, pivot over here and be able to rev that up, right? Because you now have more time if you're going to be looking for a job or you're going to replace that or you're going to go and work your business full time. Either way, you need a second stream of income in this current world, current economy that we are in. I firmly believe that.
Facts, facts, all facts. Amika said, "I'm so ready to rely on myself." Everybody on this live is probably feeling the same thing. I know I felt that 1,000 times in those 6 years I was holding on to that corporate job. It's like, oh, when is the time? When is the time? And even though entrepreneurship does have those days where it's like, oh, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, the days where you realize that you have built something that allows you to select your own schedule. You don't have to ask for a day off to take your children to the doctor or a soccer game. There's so much liberation in entrepreneurship. It's just it's a wonderful thing. So relying on yourself is going to be
Yeah.
a very rewarding thing. Yes, really will.
Years ago, Carrie was talking to me, and we're going to have lots of conversations, guys, about marriage, dating, kids,
Uh-huh.
work-life balance.
That's
I
a
mean,
whole
we've
other
got a lot
conversation.
of
Yeah.
stuff to cover in the CEO Sister Society, and a lot of, help and resources and wisdom, to bring to the conversation. But I'll never forget, Carrie said to me years ago, he was like, Rebecca, you could never, ever work for somebody ever again. He's like, you are like such a dedicated entrepreneur. It's like, you are such a boss. Like, there's no way you could ever work for somebody. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I'm glad you know that, right? Like there's not been from the moment I left corporate America, and that's a whole nother discussion as well, the transition, the strategy
Yeah.
around laying off a job and doing your business full time and what does that transition look like and how to do that from a place of wisdom and execution, right? But yeah, I guys, I've been an entrepreneur for almost 20 years. And like I said, just never look back. Never look back. Like, and then
Yeah.
especially as you keep growing in your business and realizing, you can make as much money as you want to make. Guys, there's 8 billion people on earth.
Yes.
And we are now part of a global market, a global marketplace, which means you can have clients, customers all over the world, depending on what product and
Yes.
services you want to offer. So, there's no better time than now to be starting a business, getting a business going. It's easier than ever to replace your current 9 to 5 income. It's never at any time in history been as easy as it is now for you to be able to make 5,000, 3,000, 4,000, $10,000 a month doing something for
Mhm.
yourself.
That's right. That's right. Belle commented that corporate America, basically, she got sick and was laid off of her corporate America job after giving so much of herself. That's one of the reasons that Rebecca talked about the multiple streams of income being so important. Once you get the rug ripped from under you, that's the worst feeling in the world, especially if there's no backup, especially if there's nothing else to turn to. You wake up the next day, you've got another business. You may still have your feelings hurt from being let go, but you have something else that you can do today. So that goes back to the multiple streams of income, but we feel your pain on that too.
And
I've worked corporate
you
America. Go
guys,
ahead, Rebecca.
I had this conversation actually with one of my assistants the other day, and we were talking about how, you know, the world has changed. These companies are not the same companies that our parents and grandparents were working for, guys.
Yep.
Like your grandparents, worked for one company for 50 years, 30 and 40 and 50 years and got a
Yep.
pension and they were able to do that because they lived in a time when companies did treat their employees like family. They did have a
That's
loyalty and
right.
connection with their employees. Those times are dead and gone. Corporate companies, they give a lot of talk around valuing people and it's all about our people are but in reality the world we now live in, it's all about the bottom line. It's all about the money,
Yeah.
the income, the bottom line. And so the days where you could really stay at a company, make an incredible income for your family, have
Yeah.
balance, and to get paid what you're worth. There are people who have some amazing jobs, but at the end of the day, if something were to happen to you or that company needed to let people go, they're not losing sleep over letting you go.
No.
They're not.
The beat goes on. The beat goes on. And that is something that it's a painful lesson that lots of us have learned, but you overcome and you keep pushing. I see so many people in the comments talking about they've been waiting, they've been waiting. Another young lady just commented how she sits at her job. Miss Pink Secrets, I'm always sitting at work thinking about working for myself. Yeah, those are those feelings that start to drudge up in you when it's time to start grabbing something by the horns and pulling it down for yourself. Those are
And
the
I'll say
feelings that
this
you have.
also, you know, as I've worked with entrepreneurs over the years, guys, one of the things I've witnessed, and this is like a double-edged sword, the more money you're currently making, the harder it is to replace the income. Like let's just be real
Yeah.
talk. This talking about the numbers, right? So like if you're making 50,000 and what's that break out to per month, right? It's like it's a whole lot easier to replace if we just say 50,000 divided by 12 is $4,200 a month than it is to replace $15,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
some of you, it's the time is now. like you want to make a transition when it's actually an easier transition. When you could say, if you've got, you know, if you're going to sell cakes and your cakes are $25 each, well, $4,200 divided by 25, you got to sell 167 cakes a month to replace your income, versus that being $10,000 a month divided by 25 cakes is 400 cakes a month, right?
Yeah.
Like the sheer numbers of it, guys. It's so I've worked with entrepreneurs who have, you know, they're making $300,000 in their corporate careers. That's a much different transition. That's a bigger number, right? A harder transition. The business that you do needs to be a very highly profitable business, typically needs to be more high ticket, because you don't want to be selling $10 t-shirts to try to replace a $300,000 income.
Yeah. And the strategy and things that you're laying out are why it's so important to make a plan. I know we talk about, you know, leaping, taking the steps forward, but making a plan, because like she just mentioned, if you're selling $10 t-shirts and you're trying to replace your $100,000 a year job, you are going to be having burnt fingers from pressing vinyl all day and night long. You're going to have eyes that can't see because you're going to be, you know, picking the vinyl off. Pay attention to what the trajectory of your new business will do.
Yeah.
Make a plan. Make a plan to replace it.
Because a lot of the time, I think that as entrepreneurs, we can be dreamers, you know, very dreamy, very, very in our heads, dreaming about working for ourselves, guys. But I believe in strategy. I mean, at the end of the day, the numbers have to make sense. It's like, you've got a business idea, you want to be able to lay off your job. Well, strategically, maybe some things have got to get tweaked in order to make that a reality, right? Because you don't want to just be killing yourself in a business. Because the other thing is that transitioning into working for your business full time, it is definitely, you know, a crunch. It is, you're pressing when you're working your business on the side of a full-time job. Literally the amount of hours in a day, it can become, very pressing, very hard. You're exhausted, and you can't maintain that for any really extended period of time, right? It gets to the breaking point. Yeah. So like Clarissa said, she hung in there for 6 years. That's a long time when you're working your business on the side, right? That's a lot of hours, a lot of dedication, where you're already putting in full-time hours during the day, and then going to dedicate another 3-4 hours a day to your business on the side. Guys, that's a long day.
And not even factoring in the other household responsibilities. I had a son. I was a single, newly divorced parent. So I'm working a 9 to 5, getting somebody from daycare, cooking, checking homework, and now I have to switch gears because this business that I put my name on, that I love, requires my excellence. So there were a lot of 2 o'clock in the mornings, falling asleep at a computer, writing press releases, looking over bios. I gained the confidence just over time by hyping myself up that I was too good to be sitting at somebody else's stuff all the time. But my company started to make more than the 9 to 5. And I'm like, if I'm only doing this 4 hours a day, what would happen if I gave my 100%? Okay, I'm out of here. Like that, when it clicked, I was like, why am I still doing this? I'm driving all this way. I stopped. So yeah, holding on to something sometimes is holding you back. So holding on can sometimes be holding you back.
Yeah,
don't
exactly. Do it. So yeah, those are just, some of the very realistic. It's almost 8 o'clock. We're going to wrap up. Yeah. Listen, guys, we have got so much that we will be bringing to you with all the details of the CEO Sister Society membership program. We're so excited for this new launch and everything that we're going to be doing in 2023. Clarissa, really quickly, let them know what you do, how they get in contact with you, and I'll wrap up with what I do as well.
Perfect. Thank you. So, ladies, I am the founder of Synergy PR Services. We've been in Atlanta for 16 years, so that is primarily what you'll see me doing online. My Instagram handle is Clarissa Wright Thomas. It's just my full name spelled out, and that's where you can find me. I update Instagram daily, so yep, you can find me
So
there. I look forward to
if you guys are
connecting with you
looking
all.
for a professional public relations firm and to
Yes.
be able to take over that portion of your business and help you go to the next level, you want to reach out to Clarissa at Synergy. If you are wanting to become a certified life coach, you want to make sure you click the link in my bio and sign up. We have our next certification cohort is starting at the end of this month. So that class is about halfway full right now. We always sell out every semester, guys. So make sure you get your applications in if you want to become a certified life coach. And if you're a coach and you want to have me help you with your business on the Millionaire Coach side, you can reach out as well. I do work one-on-one with Millionaire Coach VIP clients to help you start your coaching business from scratch. All right, blessings in abundance, guys. Clarissa, any last words before we go?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you all, and we look forward
And
to
make sure
joining
you
us.
click the link,
Join us.
join our wait list, join the mailing list, and we're going to be in contact and up to date as we keep moving forward with our launch. Guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We're so excited, and we will see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. for CEO Sister Talk Live. We'll be here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. All right, blessings. See you guys. Bye-bye.